everybody? It's your girl Sofia, aka Sophie, back here on Sophia's Football Talk to finally do another live stream on the channel. It's been a while, I got sick the Saturday, the day before the Arsenal game, so my whole weekend was just shit. Basically, I had to be home from work on Monday and Tuesday because I wasn't feeling too well, but I'm recovering. It's just a little bit nasally. When you still have like the a little bit of like a bad cough that still is staying on. That's kind of the stage that I'm on, and when you're like very nasally, sorry, and nose is running and stuff like that. But other than that, we are Gucci. Let me just do this here. Other than that, we are Gucci. So, yeah, I'm glad to be back. Hope that all of you guys are doing well here on this Friday evening. Big up to Ozan. Hope you're doing well. And big up to Henry Ray Baker. Subscribe to Henry's channel. Before we start, I'm going to be doing, of course, which I always love doing every season. The window is now closed. We're going to be doing like a Premier League ranking each player that technically I've decided to do like it's from not just the top six clubs. I also wanted to put in Aston Villa in the mix and Brighton as well, and also even West Ham because I feel like all those three teams have done some very interesting signings. We have loans included as well, of course. So I'm gonna rank them. It's gonna be I'll show it that very soon how that tier maker is looking like. But feel free to, of course, also chime in and let me know if you agree or disagree. But this is just what I'm thinking, and I'm trying, of course, my best to. We're just gonna focus on the football. We're not gonna be like we're gonna try not to be biased. But it is what it is. Before we start though, make sure you give this video here a big thumbs up. And of course, also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are on the road to 3K subscribers. So let's make it happen. I was a I hopped on a stream on Minute Football technically like an hour and a half ago, or no, 2 hours ago. I have linked that in the community tab, so do check that out. Subscribe to our channel. Had a lot of fun, so yeah. But let's start. Let's start. Let's start. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Pick up to roll. Roll. I feel like it's been a while. Hope you're well. Too early to say. Oh, I mean, I get obviously we. Of course, it is too early to say rank. We don't know how this is gonna unfold. I'm just saying, in terms of what I've seen so far for some of them I haven't seen play. Let's be honest. Some of them haven't played at all. But we're just looking at, okay, are they maybe adding something to the team yet? Was it a smart signing to do yet? We'll definitely do another ranking of it at the end of this season for sure. But this is just what we're thinking now that the window is closed. So we're ranking each signing, not just the. We're not focusing on the club signings. Okay, I'm not gonna be like, okay, Man United's full on rank is going to be, top and whatnot, or definitely not be the case. But let's just say hypothetically, that's not the case. It's going to be on the individual signings, okay, for set clubs. Rose says, "Yeah, I'm doing my masters. Busy with it. Good to see you, sister. Big up, brother. Best of luck to your masters. Hey, struggle is real, but I know you can do it, fam. I know you can do it." Also says tossed on Lavia ankle injury. We will definitely dive into that. Poor guy. That's yeah. I don't know how long he will be set out for, but do let me know. There's I don't know about you guys, but there's been so many injuries lately. Not good at all. Not good at all. Yeah, definitely not. Okay, so here we are. Obviously, we see I've basically taking all the signings down here based on the club. So we were going to be starting off with Arsenal. Before we do, we have a tier down here, which is not enough data. For me, that's going to be players that I technically will say we haven't seen them play yet, but also that I might necessarily not have seen play before for their team. So I don't necessarily have enough data to go off of whether I think it's a decent signing or bad signing and whatnot. So there will be a couple of these players that I'm not too familiar with, which I will be just instantly putting into the bottom one. And then we have flop. Okay, might maybe need to change it to worse potentially instead of a flop because I don't necessarily know if they're going to be a flop. I tried to do that last season, then I was a little bit slick. So, I remember last season, if you did check it out, I did put on, it was actually Darwin Nunes as potential flop. And I let's be honest, I don't think he has been a flop at all. Can you start with your boy Ryan Giro first? He ain't my boy. I will just start off with Arsenal, okay, and then we'll get it. He's right here. Ryan Gravenberch. I know that the pictures are a little bit small, but I will be, of course, letting you guys know. But let's just hop on into this and like the video, and let's start. First one is gonna be Declan Rice. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, you do need to maybe focus a little bit on putting the price into this, of course, but I do think that Declan Rice so far has been a good, very, very good signing for them. I like Declan Rice. I liked Declan Rice before he went to Arsenal. When he plays for West Ham, I was thinking I wouldn't mind getting him at Man United, but they technically broke the Premier League record to sign him, and then we all know what Chelsea and Liverpool were doing with the breaking it for Casado, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But this one, what he has offered so far, I mean, he technically did score like the winning goal against United this past Sunday. He was quality. I ain't gonna lie. He showed up, and I think if he keeps showing up like that in other big games where he just shows up as a leader, even though like Martin Odegaard is the captain, of course, but like we all know that Rice has that. He has that. Yo, that the what should I say? He does have the I'm gonna show up leader type qualities. Schlott says quality, Rice quality. Okay, pick up Carlos. Says, does she read the comments for this video? Yes, Carlos, I do. I do read the comments. I'm not going to read them instantly every single time just because we need to keep it moving. But to answer your question, I do be reading comments. I do, as much as I can. And if they're relevant to what we're talking about. But yeah, you know what? Am I going to necessarily put him in best yet? Or should I put him in quality? Because bets, it's like you have to also have the money into it. So I want to put him in quality. He's still incredible. Don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. Yes, it is live, indeed, Schluts. Uh, Next one, we have Kai Havertz, okay? Kai Havertz. Lord have mercy. I still do not get. Okay, and this is me trying to. I'm not sitting here like we. Let's be honest. Chelsea ripped up both United and Arsenal when it came to Kai Havertz and Mount. Even though they could turn it around. We're just four games in. Okay, it's the international break. You never know. It could turn itself around, but I don't know. I just what I've seen so far, to be honest, isn't much. He's just not it. I don't get it. Why you try to get a forward that has been very much very inconsistent for Chelsea, and then you're trying to put him in the middle. Okay, Chelsea try to do all of that. They try to fit him in. The only thing he's living off of is that Champions League winning goal for Chelsea against Man City 2 years ago. Okay, we gotta move on. I do not get the role that he's trying to have at Arsenal that Arteta is trying to bring on to him. But for me, he's definitely one of the worst. I have to be honest. I have to be honest. Sorry, goat. Havertz the goat. Actually, I like Havertz. He will surprise you all. Maybe, but so far, I have to say he ain't it. Big up Toluma. Toluma says Havertz is meh. Okay, okay. I do want to hear your thoughts as well, guys. I do appreciate you guys weighing in. But yeah, I have to just be honest. Next, we had David Raya, obviously coming in more so as the second goalkeeper from Brentford. He was Brentford's first goalkeeper. And now he's trying to, fight it off against Aaron Ramsdale for that number one spot for Arsenal. Big up Ender Sports. Hope you're doing well. Um, I mean, I think for the price, what was it like? It's a loan fee. Actually, it's a loan. I'll put him in decent. Indecent. I think I'll do that. Indecent. Julian Timber. I mean, unfortunate. Yeah, Raya says decent. I mean, Tolumba says decent for Raya, and I agree. When it comes to Julian Timber, I feel bad for him. I mean, he got injured the opening game. Was it Forest they played against in the opening game? Or was it Palace? One or the other. One or the other. I think it might have been Palace. But either way, he did get injured in the opening game. But like I remember seeing him in some like preseason games and stuff like that. And I think it's a very good signing for for Arsenal. It's just, of course, very much unfortunate that he got injured. But who would have predicted that that would have happened? If we're just looking at the actual signing of what they needed, I do think that he is. Um, should I say decent or should I say quality? Should I say decent or should I say quality? Hmm. Toloma says Timber is decent, has to prove himself. Leisha was written off because of his height. That is a good point. Very good point. Very good point. I think I might potentially put him in decent, but it's borderline almost quality, to be honest. We'll move on shortly to Aston Villa. A big up though. Schlotz says Harris is good. That's your opinion. And Sports TV says Kai Havertz is so shit. I mean, I ain't gonna hold you, and I'm not gonna hold back in terms of the Mount stuff as well for Man United. Like, no, no, I will let you know more than you believe. I will let you know more than you believe when it comes to some of the signings that we're made. Okay, we're gonna keep it a buck, 100 more than you believe. Either way, though, get it. Let's move on to Aston Villa, though. We have Musa Diaby. Okay, for Aston Villa. He was about like I think 55 million. I think it might be in euros potentially. Or no pounds from Bayer Leverkusen. I've seen a few Aston Villa games. I mean, I know that they've had some bad results here and there, but I think the opening game I really did like him. Then was it? Yeah. There's been some moments where I do think I kind of do like him. I don't necessarily would say quality just yet, but I put him in decent. I'll put him in decent. I like Musa Diaby. Yeah, Schloss agrees that Musa Diaby is quality. Yep, yep. I agree with that. I agree with that. And then we're moving on to Pau Torres. Okay, came from Villarreal. Former, what should I say? One of Una Emery's former players. Big up to Jovic. Hope you're doing well. Big up, big up. One of Una Emery's former players for Villarreal. I know that like we were linked with him many times, especially under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Many times where there were links with him potentially coming to Man United. I feel like I think Pau Torres is like I, but like I'm not like so far. He's been a little bit shaky. I'm not gonna lie. This so far a few of the games, like he was what 33 million. I would just be like, I need to see more. But so far, I feel like I haven't been super impressed. I think he has some good ball playing abilities, but his defending isn't really nothing to rave about. If I'm gonna be very honest, Thomas says Pau Torres is quality. We were once linked to him. Yeah, I hear you. Juventus says Pau Torres is meh. A meh. I'm just thinking from what I've seen from him so far, the defending isn't that great. So I want to say meh so far. But I'm not gonna lie, I was intrigued when he first got signed to Aston Villa. I was like, okay, interesting. Aston Villa, okay. But hey, we move. Give me 1 second. Also, just need to take a drink. Sip of the water. Big up to those who are tuning in. Just ranking all of the players. Then we got Clement Longley. Longley alone from Barcelona, okay? I mean, he had that one season for Spurs. Definitely not the best. I don't know, man. Just doesn't do much for me. I think they also did have like what was it? I think in the last Aston Villa game, was it Liverpool they played against? Yeah, where there was a player that went down injured. I can't remember exactly what that guy's name was, but And then Longley had to come in. Longley, I do like his name. Longley. Meh. We'll put him in meh if we're gonna be very honest. Doo, doo, doo. Longley is not enough data. I The reason why I'm putting him, the thing is though, I'm also focusing on what I've seen for him last season. It's not just this season, by the way. I'm also taking into account what do I know prior to the season. Okay, so we're mixing that into it. If I don't know anything about a player, I haven't seen them, then that's why I would put them in not enough data. If I literally haven't seen them play, big up to MCFC Protocols. As Longley is the worst. Ooh, I wouldn't put the worst. The thing is, though, it's still a loan, so I wouldn't fully put in as worst. But you're right. Though Spurs fans, a lot of Spurs fans were not a fan, of Clement Longley. I completely get that. I'm just gonna put in meh. But then again, I'm realizing, hmm, Pau Torres, Longley. Should I both have them in meh? Or should Pau Torres maybe be indecent? Because I could put the Pau Torres. You know what? Because now I'm seeing them next to each other. I'm like, nah. I think Pau Torres we'll put Pau Torres indecent, even though defending hasn't been fully, but there are something about that signing that is interesting, especially if we take into account the fact that Aston Villa is in the Conference League. Pau Torres did win the Europa League with Villarreal. That was when we lost to them in the finals. So hey, Longley is a cheap loan. Hey, yeah. Okay, and then we have this guy. I'm gonna put in definitely. Um, this is what is his name? I think it's Nico Saniolo. He is a loan from Galatasaray. I've not seen this guy play. I don't know anything about him. He looks like a full model. Model. That's it. So I'm gonna put him in not enough data for me personally speaking. What are y'all saying? Jovic says Torres could work under Emery if he has time. Yeah, that's why I had to feel like I had to change my mind there. I think Pau Torres is a decent signing. I think Meh is a little bit of a reach. Not enough data. Do not know anything about him. Yep. Do not know anything about him, or haven't know not that much. The info isn't really infoing. If that even makes sense, I don't know. I do not know. Okay, so next up we have the last Aston Villa signing here that I'm focusing on is Yuri Tielemans. I mean, came for free from Leicester. He has been linked with Man United before, and I ain't gonna lie. When Aston Villa got him, I was like, "Ooh, okay, that's kind of interesting." The thing is, though, he hasn't really played that much yet. So the thing is, what I'm going off of is what I've seen of him before. And for Leicester, I think sometimes people be like, you know what, he's maybe a little bit of a meaty player. I do rate him, but not super highly. But I think for Aston Villa, maybe he can add something. But the thing is, the guy needs to play more. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Yeah, decent on a free is a good side. You know what? That's why I'm kind of want to put him I want to put him in decent because I'm thinking it's on a free, not a bad option to get um as a player of that caliber on a free, in my opinion. So I'm gonna put him on decent. Okay. Tolumba says meh signing, and that's fair. If any of you guys also do feel free, of course, to chime in the chat. Let me know your thoughts, whether you agree or not. And if you're just tuning in and you're a bit unsure on, okay, but who did she put there? But I know the pictures are a little bit small. Just ask the other people in chat, but involve yourself. I do love hearing your guys' opinions as well. So yeah. But now we're moving into Brighton. Okay, Brighton right now, they got some interesting players that come in. First one that I want to dive into, talk about is, pause by the way, Jao Pedro. Okay, came from Watford for 34 million. Um, so far, there's been some games where he has started, or some games he's been more so on the bench. But I'm thinking it's an okay signing. He interests me. He does. But like Evan Ferguson, the youngster that's he balled out with hat trick this past weekend, right? So was it against Newcastle, I believe? Or am I tripping? I think it was. Either way, João Pedro, João Pedro. I'm gonna put him in. Hmm, where should I put him in? Ooh, quality. You're saying quality. I mean, take Juventus. Pedro is meh. 34 million is a bit overpriced. I see it. Toluma says not enough data. Okay. For me personally, I'm gonna put him in decent. I put him in decent. In decent. Next we have James Milner on a free. Um, from Liverpool, of course. Uh, big up Ming. He adds, of course, that experience to that Brighton side. But the guys, he been playing for a long time in the Prem. Like he could maybe. I wonder how long he will still play for because he might be closing in on actually ended up being like the most, the player with the most caps in the Prem or something like that. Like he madness, 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 or at least be it for many years. Lots of quality. Tolumbas is quality. The thing is, though, it's a free transfer. He still got some legs in him, but not. I don't want to know. I don't want to necessarily say quality. If I'm going to be honest, I want to say decent though. I'll say decent, but I'm not going to sit there and say quality. Okay, I think that might be a little bit too far. And then we have this guy. Before I move on, I do want to hear your opinions as well, of course. MCFC says, meh. Uber says Milner a decent, good experience, especially in the Europa League. Can play right back and a midfielder and can do a job. That's a good point. That's why I'm thinking decent. Also says James Miller has won every club trophy. Come on now. Protocol says Brighton doesn't need Milner. Yeah, the thing is though, I think when it comes to the fullback department, like they're pretty decent, but it's just once again, it's a free transfer. It adds more experience. I wonder if he suddenly it will go in as a coach maybe there in the future. You never know. I can see him becoming like a good coach. You know, often I feel like when some of the really good coaches or managers out there has often been like maybe not necessarily the forwards, not even the attacking midfielders, but often people that have to like defend midfielders. You know, defensive minded players in general. I can see it. I can see it. I ain't gonna lie, even though he played for Liverpool, he played for City, of course, as well. I like James Miller. I don't know. I think he's alright. I think he's alright. And then we have this guy I have to just put in not enough data. It is his name is what's his name again? Carlos Baleba, uh, Cameroonian central midfielder. He give me 1 second here. 1 second. I don't know why this. There it is. Okay, so he came on from Lille. Okay, Lille. I don't know much about him, so I'm gonna say not enough data for me per se. Not enough data. That's kind of what I have to go by. If I'm gonna be like 100% here. Is any of you guys familiar with Carlos Baleba, or am I the only one? Let me know. Let me know. Big up to Niall. Hope you're doing well. Juventus says Baleba, not enough data, but he could cook under the Zerbi and could cost 100 million next summer, knowing Brighton scouts. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Yeah, I'm all good, recovering from a cold, but we're doing good over here. That's a good point. I mean, the Zerbi so far, like, yeah, he cooking. Been a good coach for me. But yeah, like I said, we're not gonna stay on that for long. We're gonna put in not enough data, and then we have Bart Ver Bruggen, who played for Anderlecht, 20 million, by the way. And if I didn't mention earlier, Carlos Baleba was 27 million. But yeah, Bart Verbruggen is a goalkeeper. Okay, I really have to say I liked the announcement video that Brighton did for Bart. I mean, um, I'm a big The Simpsons fan, and obviously the young buck, the brother, or the boy in the Simpson family is called Bart Simpson, right? So Bart Verbruggen. So this is kind of like a the Simpsons type of intro for his announcement, and I love it. It's like, yeah, Bart in Norwegian actually means mustache. Bart, that means mustache. Just a side note for those of you wondering. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna put him in. The thing is, though, I haven't seen. I did see him in the just I've seen him in some Brighton games though, so technically I have that to go off of. But I'll say, you know, but then again, I would say he's probably the thing is though. I believe Steele that's the number one goalkeeper right now. So so Bart Verbruggen will probably be like the second goalkeeper, as um Robert Sanchez left to join Chelsea, which we will talk about very soon. Um, But still, though, do I have enough data to go off of? Not really. Not really. So I'll put him in not enough data. Before we move on to some of the next Brighton players, let me read some more comments. Now, so Scotland beat Cyprus 3-0. McTominay, the goal machine. Come on now. And I know that Georgia got slapped up like, what, 7-1 or something by Spain. And Norway's going to play against Georgia on Tuesday. So we better be winning because right now, Scotland is like top of that group in the Euro qualifier. So, who? Pick up Dash. Hope you're well. Uh, Protocol says, Sofia, would you take this derby at United over Ten Hag? Not now. No, I still am gonna be. I like this derby, by the way, but I still have to. I still want to be sticking by Ten Hag and give him the time that he needs and deserves, in my opinion. Like I said, I've been saying constantly, we gave my fellow Norwegian Ole Gunnar Solskjaer 3 years. I'm gonna give Ten Hag some time, unless he goes left. That's another story. But right now, as things stands, I want to give him time. So that's that. You would have such a decent signing, a good goalkeeper. They have two good goalkeepers. Stealing him. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Do-do-do. Okay, so let's move on. Then we have the thing is though, I haven't seen this guy. I've seen him like play maybe one game off from the bench, but this is Daoud, Mahmoud Daoud, who is a central midfielder, um, German international. Okay, German international, and what else? Played for Dortmund, by the way. Um, on a free actually. I think he might be of Syrian descent, by the way. I think somebody said that. Or, I've heard of something about that, but I've just seen him a little bit, so I'm not gonna. Like I said, I didn't see him really like that for Dortmund before. It's free transfer. I'll just put in not enough data because I don't want to be like, okay, let's just put him there. I don't know. Next one, who I do think is quite interesting, loan transfer, Ansu Fati, Ansu Fati from Barcelona, the youngster. Okay, Spain international. I actually don't know if he was on the Spain squad, by the way, today. A little bit unsure. Either way, though, got, of course, Messi's number 10 shirt. And now, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of us were shocked. I mean, he was linked to go to Spurs, and then suddenly we hear, at the latter stage of the transfer window, that Brighton coming and just be like swooping over. That to me, I was shocked. I was like, what Brighton? Brighton is not playing around. I'm wondering, the thing is, the next game for Man United is going to be against Brighton. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday, right? Since it is international break, of course. I wonder if he's going to be starting. I know he's been dealing with a lot of injuries. Potentially might have been mostly the same injury for Barcelona, but there is a player there. And I wonder how he'll do under the Serbi. Once again, it's a loan. At the end of the day, it is a loan. So for me, I want to see a decent loan. I want to see a decent loan. I think he could cook. And I'm definitely gonna watch more Brighton games. 100%. I've already been liking the way Brighton played, under De Zerbi and whatnot last season, and even when they had Graham Potter, I've really enjoyed Brighton. I don't know. I think the way they operate as a team from top to bottom, is inspiration, at least for me as a Man United supporter, because my club is shambles right now, as we know, with a lot of stuff happening, which we will not go into right now. But either way, I think he can be, probably he can cook. But this will be the first time for Barcelona where they don't have a number 10, like somebody wearing a number 10 shirt, you know, um, this season. Thankfully, he could go back after January, but still, though, I think it might have been since the 90s or something, or even prior to that. Either way, I think a decent signing. What are you guys saying, though? Big up to DJ, Superfly. I want to hear what you guys are saying. Big up to Ravi, hope you're doing well. Okay, so Yura says Daoud Meh signing. Okay. Protocol says Daoud is definitely quality. I would say Daoud at City. Ooh. Yura says Fatih, decent signing. What a talent. If the Serbi gets the best out of him, he could do really well. I agree. Yura also says Fatih rejected Tottenham and chose Brighton. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. That's the thing, though. I think, to be honest, though, I generally think that, what should I say? Like you said, Yuvraj, I have a feeling that the Zerbi can unlock something for sure. Big up Zayn says, which player we do in Sofia just joined? Oh, right now we're gonna move on actually to Chelsea, so we're gonna be talking about Moise Caicedo right now. But the one that I just talked about right now was Ansu Fati from, um or to Brighton from Barcelona on loan, right? Big up to Adam 1982 says Havertz is worth 6 mil, not 60. Fam, you might be onto something there. You might be onto something there, 100%. But let's move on to Chelsea, because Chelsea have been doing a madness. I think, yeah, you see, the thing is, though, there's so many. I haven't even added, I've just focused on putting on the players here, not just the players that they've, or only the players that they have bought, but that are actually in the squad, because Chelsea have also bought a lot of other players, but that they've offloaded to go on loan. So I'm not focusing on those players. If they were on, I think it's like, what was his name? Angelo, I believe, who went on a loan. I think it might have been to Forest. There was another player, Chelsea player, went on loan to Strasbourg. I'm not focusing on those players because they're not playing for Chelsea this season, right? So far, we're just going to focus on the players who are actually going to be in the squad as of right now, right? And there are also some, like for instance, Christopher Nkunku and Malagustu, who they did get in January window, but we're seeing it now, right? So we're focusing on that as well. Let's see. DJ Stubblefly says Fati is a top player. I agree. You know what, Ravi? I'm gonna save that question for at the end of the show, and then I'll answer it. But yeah, let's move on to Moises Caicedo. Moises Caicedo, I mean, broke the record, okay, as becoming the most expensive signing in the Prem. It's a little bit funny how Liverpool first broke that record, right? And then Chelsea added more money, and they did it. So 116 million, okay? That's a lot of money from Brighton, okay? It was just COVID 3 years ago where Man United could have gotten it for 5 million. But we said no. You know why? Because we have imbeciles, incompetent leeches as board members. Same as, and you know who appointed them? Our owners. Incompetent leeches. It is what it is. But hey, so far though, let's just be honest. The first few games now, I think it's been like what, 2 games now this season for Caicedo, right? And it hasn't gone down very well the first few games here. Obviously, he missed the Liverpool game. What was the first game he played in? Oh, it was West Ham game. He had it might have been one of the worst debuts ever. How you end up giving away a penalty like that. Yeah, didn't work out. But I still do rate the player, and I think that he will come good, but he need time. The thing is, though, Chelsea, the way with their the approach of just getting super young players under the age of 25. I don't really know how that's gonna work out, if I'm gonna be very honest, but we'll have to wait and see. Um, Schloss is a player who works at Brighton might not work at United. That's a good point. That's a very good point. 100%. And thing is, though, to be honest, yeah, I don't, yeah, I really, especially when under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at that time, yeah, I don't think it would have. Even though we really didn't need a DM, but we didn't have like a clear, there wasn't a clear plan what we're gonna do with the signings, so it wouldn't have worked out. And I rate him. I think if we would have gotten him now under Eric Tenaga, I think it would. Personally, I would think it would work out, but that's another story for another day. DJ Superfly says, can he deal with the price tag? Good question. Comes with a lot of pressure. Exactly. That is a lot of pressure for a young kid for sure. Due to the price though, I'm not going to sit there and say worst. I'm not going to say meh, but it's a lot of money though. And so far, it hasn't really paid off. But I also want to focus on the potential of what can do. What we do, of course, as well, have to focus on what we see right now. Other players from Brighton to Chelsea haven't been too great. Good point. Good point. I'm gonna put him in because I really do rate him. But for Chelsea, the thing is, though, I think let's if Liverpool would have gotten him, I would have been like, yeah, Liverpool. Let's say what they would have gotten because they really would have actually needed a Casado. If they would have gotten Casado, I would be like, you know what, they could actually challenge for the league, especially if they also would have gotten a center back as well. But we'll talk about that shortly. Either way, though, I want to say for Casado, probably put him in. It's difficult, man, because you have to take the price into account. It's a lot of money, a lot of pressure. Mm, decent, decent. I put him in decent for now. Then we got Romeo Lavia. I mean, we it was already mentioned earlier today, right? Or earlier in the stream. The guy's injured. Poor kid. Hasn't played any time yet. I don't know what is going on, but the more you think about it, the more it's like, did they really need to get Romeo Lavia? Did they really need to do it? I don't know. Lavia is crap. I wouldn't say that. What Chelsea fans don't understand is buying a whole new squad every season can't work. You can't buy teamwork. Schlotz, you're spot on, mate. You're spot on. That's a very good point. I feel this. The thing is, though, we need to be very. Let's all keep it 100. If any of our clubs spend a billion, okay, in a year, every one of us would be hearing it. United would be hearing it. Liverpool would be hearing it. Arsenal would be hearing it. Spurs would be everybody. Why are we now? And City will be hearing it as well. Why are we? I don't. I feel like Chelsea don't really get it like that. Because the thing is, though, if you spend a billion, you better challenge for the league. You win the league. You better win the league. Excuse me, what? If we spend we spent 400 and people are still saying we need to win. We better be winning. We should challenge. What about Chelsea then? Come on now. Come on now. Are we going to keep it 100 or are we not going to keep it 100? Because sorry, I'm going to keep it 100. Either way, Lavia, so far though, I don't know, man. We haven't seen anything. That's the thing. But when he did play for Southampton, it was really good. I'm going to put him a little bit on meh, if I'm going to be very honest. Just because I don't know. Did they? We also need to think for what Chelsea needed. Did they really need him? They probably should have maybe used that money to get another striker in, maybe. Um, and then we have Christopher Nkunku from, of course, Leipzig. I mean, technically they did buy him in January, but he wasn't going to be available until this summer. But he got injured, I believe, during I think preseason, so he hasn't really played yet. But I did see some preseason games, and he did look good to me. If I'm gonna be honest, how much was that money actually? So 60 million though is a lot, to be honest. I'm gonna put him in decent because I have a feeling that he would come good. Cole Palmer, I want to talk about. I ain't gonna lie. Ooh, Schlaf says Nkunku's quality. Could also put him in quality, to be fair. Could also put him in quality. You know what? The more we'll think about it. Cole Palmer, I ain't gonna hold you, doesn't make sense. Um, we'll see how it all works out, but to me, it was like what 47 mil. That's a lot of money for Man City for Man City. Okay, for somebody that hasn't really played that many games in the men's game, right? Okay, he scored. What was it in the? Who was it? Was it in the? Was it Community Shield where he scored? I think he also scored. What was it? The Super Cup or something. Did he not? I believe he did against Sevilla. Um, but other than that, like I do I think he's a good decent player, but I don't get why Chelsea really had to get him, to be honest. So that one I have to put in meh, if I'm gonna be very honest. And then we have Axel Disasi. I know Man United was linked with him as well. He came from, was it Nice? Was it Disasi? Monaco? My bad, Monaco for 45 million. So Man United also did need a center back. We did get a center back, but we got back with our ex. Is that that's what we did? But we'll talk about that very soon. I digress. Either way, the Sassy so far hasn't had the best of start. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm just going off of what I've seen now, and also not the quickest. I ain't gonna lie, not the quickest. We're gonna put him in meh. We're gonna put him in meh. And then we have Action Jackson, Nicholas Jackson from Villarreal. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, God, that's such a good song. Boom, I am for. That is such a good song. Big up, Nathan. Hope you're doing well, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Action Jackson or Jackassette, as some people call him, or Jakshu. You know what I'm saying? Michi Batshuayi. Yeah, that guy. I mean, the thing is though, Nicholas Jackson, young, obviously, striker or forward in a way, from Villarreal, 37 million. Like I said, they probably should have gotten another striker as well. To be honest, I think they're putting way too much pressure on Action Jackson. I feel like I can't say Nicholas Jackson without saying Action Jackson. So I'm going to say Action Jackson. Okay? But Action Jackson, which is very hard to say, Action Jackson, hasn't. The thing is, though, there's been. I feel like there's some movements that I do like of him, like some parts of his game that I do think is interesting. The only thing is, though, I think it was what was it, the game where they played against Forest where he missed like a clear cut chance. That was when Elanga came in. Okay. Rhythm is a dancer, Anthony Alanga. Try to stop him if you dare. Came from Scandinavia. That guy came in, slapped him up, and Forrest won 1-0. But Action Jackson could have scored, didn't do it. And I think sometimes people have been like comparing him, or not comparing, but saying like, oh, he kind of, oh, he's the new Drogba. Like, why do we have to? Didier Drogba is one of my favorite players of all time. I love that dude. Okay, yes, he played for Chelsea. Doesn't really that matter that much because I really liked him. Clutch player. When you needed him in important games, he showed up. Would could Nicholas Jackson, aka Action Jackson, become that? I don't know. But so far, I'm not gonna say he's been horrible. There's been part of this game that's interesting, but I don't think he's gonna give you 20 plus goals. That's not happening. Not definitely not the first season. So I'm gonna put in. I don't want to put him meh. I'll put him in decent. But the more I think about it, if I'm gonna put him in decent, then I think I need to put. Or should I put then Christopher Nkunku on quality because I have the only one that I have on quality right now is Rice. So and we haven't seen enough of Christopher Nkunku. The only thing we have to go off of is what we've seen before. So I think we'll think about it. Next one is Leslie Ugu Chukwu, came for 27 million from Stade Rennes. Okay. Before we move on to him, let me say hi to Nathan. Become Nathan. Just a long time, no chat. Hope all is good. Gotta do something soon. Yeah, Nathan, 100%. After the international break, we'll definitely do something soon for sure. Where it says, where did you put Madison? Oh, I'm. The thing is, Ravi, we're going off of club wise, so we haven't gone to Spurs yet. All of this is just club wise. So far, we're now moving on to at the end, or we're at the end of Chelsea right now, and then we're just gonna follow along. So you see here, this is Spurs. Madison is here. No, that's not Madison. Where is Madison? There it is. There it is. That's Madison. Okay, so like I said, not enough data from Leslie Ugochukwu. Not enough data. And then we have Malagustu. Once again, came in January window, but he then was just still at loan. For where was he from again? Malagusto. Malagusto. Oh, Lyon. Lyon. Yeah. Okay. So they bought him in January, and then he went on um loan. He still stayed at Lyon, and now like he's back, which is I ain't gonna lie. I think it was a smart signing for them to do because Reece James has been injured. I like Malagusto, to be honest. I actually do rate him. I think he can maybe be a bit better with his offensive part of his game. Can be a bit better for sure. But I learn. But I like him. So I think that's a smart signing that Chelsea needed to do. So I want to put him in quality actually next to Rice. I might even put Rice up here potentially. We might move him up. So this is not completely confirmed right now as what I'm thinking. We'll see how it goes. And then we have David Washington, youngster, okay, from Santos. They also bought another one from Santos, actually, Angelo, but like I said, he went on loan, so we're not going to focus on him. David Washington, I don't know much about him, so we're going to put him on not enough data. And then Robert Sanchez, I know, of course, of him. I mean, he now, as Kepas went on loan to Real Madrid, Robert Sanchez is now that number one goalkeeper for Chelsea. And so far, the thing is, though, I ain't gonna lie, the shot stopping hasn't been the best. Hasn't been the best. It hasn't been the best for sure. So it's about them thinking, let's see here. Should we? I want to put him in. I think they maybe could have gotten another better goalkeeper though out there. The thing is though, they were actually very much linked with Onana even before us, but they didn't really decide to go. They felt like he was too expensive, which I'm kind of like, wasn't really. But then again, it looks to be they paid 23 million, so obviously it's more affordable than a Onana. But I think we got the better one, so I'm gonna put him in meh. Even though I do like him, but we'll put him in meh if I'm gonna be very honest. Then we are moving into Liverpool. Okay, so we're keeping the bias aside. Like I said, we have Rice pretty far up there. We have a lot of people in decent, a couple of people in meh, one person in worse. Will we add more people in worse potentially? But first one we're going to talk about is Dominic Szoboszlai. Before we do, let me say hi to Rajat. Hope we're doing well. Came to Spain for vacationing. Oh, big up to you. You Raj, I will read that very soon. But yeah, Dominic Szoboszlai, okay, came from it was RB Leipzig for 70 million. I think I seen like what 2 games of Leipzig or whatnot, or maybe even 3 last season. So, but I'm going off of what I've seen so far for Liverpool. I've watched a lot of Liverpool games. I think I might have missed like one Liverpool game, or might have watched all of them so far this season, 4 games, and I've been really impressed by him. He scored against Villa, did he not? A very good goal. Um, Good player. it's a smart signing, an eighth that they needed. We'll also, of course, talk about Alexis McAllister very shortly. But Dominic Szoboszlai, for what they needed, has so far been very good. He's been very good, 100%. So I can't sit here and say just because Liverpool, I'm going to be, any different. Like, if we would have gotten him, I would have been like pretty gassed. So I'm going to maybe put him in best so far. For the price, it's a lot of money, but so far he showed up. So far he showed up. We could technically put him in quality though, and then maybe put Alexis McAllister in best because of McAllister being even. You know what? Maybe we might have put him here, and then McAllister. The funny part is he has a brother that's called Kevin. Okay, to those of you who are, you know, maybe big Home Alone fans as I am, you would know the reference with, Kevin McAllister, the McAllister family from Home Alone, and the young kid who is the main character, is called Kevin McAllister. And Alexis McAllister has a brother who also play football, and they're gonna what you know what's funny? Liverpool is gonna be in one team that they're gonna meet in the Europa League group is the team of Alexis McAllister's brother, Kevin McAllister. I have to watch that game and just hear them say Kevin McAllister. Oh my god. I have to. It's vibes. But before we move on to Alexis McAllister and not Kevin McAllister, then I want to read your comments. Okay, Juventus, Szoboszlai, and McAllister both in quality, in my opinion. Okay. Rajat, we will talk about United soon, but not now. Yura said, okay, yeah, you talk about best the way he's going, he could be. Okay, Endo. Okay, talk about McAllister. The thing is, though, McAllister, 42 million. It was a clause in that Brighton contract, which Liverpool were able to trigger. Other than that, if it wasn't a clause, it probably would have been like very much expensive, like maybe even close to what Casado went for, I should say. But I think McAllister is a very good signing for me. And from what they're getting in terms of the money they paid, you have to almost put him in best, should you not? I think I kind of have to. I do like Alexis McAllister. The thing for me though, when both of them were kind of like linked with going leaving Brighton, I was more open to get Caicedo compared to a Alexis McAllister. But once again, we're putting into account the money, so the money does count in this instance as well, for sure, for all of them actually. So we're gonna put him because he's so far. I've been very impressed. But then again, I almost feel like should I also then put the one Dominic Szoboszlai up here as well on best, and then put Rice here as you know what? Boop boop. So far, I'm just taking into account what I've seen so far, and they've lived up to it. They've looked very good to me. You also do need to remember that, especially when it comes to McAllister, the guy has also been playing as a six sometimes as well. Even though he's not really a six, he's more of an eight, right? More of an attacking mid. But he is so far, especially against Villa, he did a very good job. Him and I think it was Curtis Jones next to him did a good job. So this is me putting away my bias. Okay, I'm a United supporter. I don't need to back them. I don't need to big them up like that. But I have to. I gotta keep it 100. They've impressed me. So that's that. I want to hear what you guys are saying as well. Yeah, we'll talk about Endo soon. Council for 35 million still is worth at least 60, 65. Exactly. Juraj McAllister is playing a DM and is still playing well. Imagine him with Gravenberch. He's going to be so good. Cannot wait for Gravenberch as I trust Klopp to turn him into a beast. We'll see. Since his last two Endo meh or not enough data and Gravenberch decent. Good point. Next we got Gravenberch. Gravenberch. The thing is though, I mean, of course I've seen him like the Ajax days here and there, and of course a little bit of Bayern. But let's be honest, the guy didn't play much for Bayern last season. He got that big move, but obviously hasn't worked out. But it's 40 million or so that Liverpool paid. Did Liverpool necessarily 100% need Ryan Gravenberch? Not really. I think they would have needed a DM more then a Ryan Gravenberch, because they already have like they've done very well when it comes to like attacking midfielders or getting like those two eights, you know. Wonderful window when it comes to, like I said, the additions of Dominic Szoboszlai and Alexa McAllister. But Ryan Gravenberch didn't really need it. Either way, I would say decent. He'll probably work out. You never know. You never know. You never know. But there is injuries involved there as well. But we'll see if they maintain it properly. He could work out. But I'll put him in decent. Um, and then I wanna Endo. I've seen like one game of him or maybe two. He started one of the game. It was in Newcastle and he was kind of like meh. Got subbed off and then you know. Thing is though, he is more of a DM, but he's not even playing as a DM. You have McAllister playing ahead of him as a DM. But and he wasn't even the first. He was more the choice of what, at least what it seems like, what club really wanted. Even though the club was like, well, let's get Casado, let's get Lavia, the club actually really wanted Endo, who came from Stuttgart. Okay, 20 million, I'd price. Okay, I'll put him in, but so far, yeah, I've been like fully impressed with what I've seen so far. So I put him in meh, if I'm gonna be honest. Looks like Sane might agree with that. Either meh or not enough data, and Gravenberch decent. Yours says Gravenberch is a meh. It's a risk transfer as we need a DM. Then Gravenberch we're probably going to defense by committee because the midfield of Gravenberch, McAllister, and Shabosat, the press is there. Exactly. I think you're getting a little bit too exposed with it being, you know, very much attacking minded. There needs to also be a little bit of balance there, but I'll just say so far, Gravenberch is a decent signing, but not necessarily exactly what you guys needed. Then we move it on to Man City. Man City. We have Josko Gvardiol from Leipzig, 90 million. Okay, the Croatian center back. We know that Emerick Laporte went to Al Nassr. Probably somebody. The fact that he didn't go to like another club in Europe is a little bit surprising. Not because of the Saudi Arabia League, but just because I think he could have probably be able to be there in the top at the top of the league, but or at the top club. But hey, it is what it is. Sorry, I need to cough here and there. But yeah, big up to those who are still here. Before we get into rate or ranking Josko Guardiol, give this video here a big thumbs up. I appreciate those of you who are here. It's about to be midnight here in Norway in about 30 minutes. So big up to those of you who are here. I appreciate it. But yeah, Josko Guardiol. 90 million, a lot of money for the center back. So far I would say it's been okay, but like I ain't gonna lie, when they were linked with him, I was like, okay, that's a good signing. For what they already have with like Manuel Akanji, Nathan Ake, John Stones, Ruben Diaz, of course, and then adding a Josko Guardiola as well is pretty good. A lot of money for the youngster, like what, 19, 20 now. So we'll have to wait and see. But so far, um, I do want to say quality because I do like him. I do like him. And then we have Mateus Nunez from Wolverhampton, 62 million. So he adds a bit of a coverage, okay, cover for Rodri, who who he told the club, not club, Pep, that yo, like, okay, now I've been there a couple of seasons, I've been playing a lot of games. I don't really want to play that many games, and he always shows up. You don't really rarely see Rodri on the sidelines. He often is like one, if not the most used player for Man City, right? But at some point, he do need a break as well because at some point you can get burnt out. Burnt out is a real thing, people. So Mateus Nunes, I think Liverpool was linked with him last season before he went to Wolves. I know that before Man City was linked or went on to go in for Mateus Nunes, they were trying to get Lucas Paqueta. That didn't work out, of course. It was too much of a money to spend, but okay, 62 million. Look decent for Wolves. I'll put him in decent. But then again, I'm gonna almost put him in quality, to be honest, because it is something that they did need him. It's smart. It's a smart signing. Quality, put him in quality. And then we have Duku. I think it's Jeremy Duku, is it not? Yeah, Jeremy Duku from is Belgian. He is from Stade Ren, 60 million. I mean, I've seen one game of him. So it's not really that much data for me to go to, but it's supposed to maybe be more like a replacement for a Riyad Mahrez. Different for sure. But I'm putting in not enough data for now. And then we have Mateo Kovacic. I think Kovacic probably might be a very underrated signing, you know? I ain't gonna hold you, okay? Came in for 29 million. Okay, adds a lot of experience. Okay, played for Madrid, played for Chelsea, won the Champions League. Like, once again, experience. He's not going to be a leg for leg replacement to Gundogan. You're not going to replace Gundogan. That's not happening. But he can offer something else. He holds the ball very, very, very nicely for sure. So you can keep progressing it forward. Um, so yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When Man City was like when they were linked with him and they ended up getting him, and for that price, I was like, yo, he might be the bargain of the window. It might end up being one of the best signings of the summer. Once the window, though, I mean, once the season is over, we might look back and be like, you know what? This was actually very good. I want to put this into quality. Yeah, I want to put it into quality for sure. I realize I put up a lot of Man City, but the thing is, though, from what they have bought, they have been smart. So I have to also put that into account. The signing that the actual player that they got, but also did they need the players? Yeah, and the price, yeah, good. Especially Kovacic, very good in my opinion. So that's what I'm taking into account. Um, yeah. Where it says, oh, but who are we talking about here? Oh, Kovacic is great. Yep, yep. Mateo Kovacic, exactly. I said, Sofia, as much as I like Rice, I'm not sure it's worth what Arsenal paid for him. That's a good point. The thing for me, I'm just putting into what I've seen of him so far, and it's been very good in my opinion. Now we're moving on to my team, Man United. Okay. I have to keep it 100. I know I put in Kai Havertz on worst. Mason Mount, the thing is, though, we haven't, I mean, he's been injured now. So he played what, like 3 games this season? Or two? Wait, wait, he didn't play Nottingham Forest. He didn't play Arsenal as well. 2 games, actually. 2 games. I But I also have to be honest. I did say that I don't get the signing. Doesn't make sense to me. And for what we paid for him, which was like 64, 65 million, right? Or technically, technically they're putting in the full. It's 55 plus 5, but this is like I think this is in euros actually, but it's 55 million essentially. Um, I have to be honest, worst. This is just what I'm thinking so far. Okay, if I'm gonna put Kai Havertz there, I kind of have to put Mason Mount there as well. Even though I think Kai Havertz is worst, if I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, I just have to. I have to. I have to. What are you guys thinking? Let me know. Mason Mount thoughts about Money Mace. Thoughts, people. We move on. Next, we have. Oh, Nana. Look what you done started. Okay, so it's Andrea Onana or Onana. What's my name? So Andrea Onana came from Inter, 52 million in total, by the way. Okay, in total, pretty. I'll say very good. Um, Obviously it's been a little bit shaky. Let's be honest. The first game against Wolves should have been a penalty. Should have been. We got away with one. I ain't gonna hold you. We got away with one. But either way, it is what it is. I'm gonna say, like so far, I've actually liked him, but I can't necessarily fully say quality just yet. You know. But I want to put him in decent. I'm not gonna say meh. I'm not gonna say meh. I know a lot of people are waiting for him, being like, okay, he's done this, he's done this. You could have said that. You could have said, like, I get it, people. But what I've seen so far, decent, decent. In my opinion, decent. decent. Sean says Onana meh. Definitely no one needs a midfielder in goal. Hey, that's your opinion. That's your opinion. And then we have second goalkeeper, Altay Bayindir. I ain't gonna hold you. The only thing I know is used to play for Fenerbahce, been a little bit injury prone, captain for Fenerbahce as well, but it's not enough data. I've seen like one training video. Okay, but interesting though. Not enough data for me. Sufyan Amrabat though. Let's talk. It's a loan. 10 million loan. 10 million loan. We probably should. We should have bought him. We should have bought him. Let's be honest. Before we move on though, I do want to hear you. What are you saying on Onana? Sufyan, it's still early for Onana. I do think he will be a great keeper at United with the quality defense infrastructure of him. That would be sensational. I agree. Nana is alright. He playing too high. The hair is much better than Nana. Waste of money. I disagree. But hey, we move on. We move on. Amrabat. The thing is, though, we haven't seen him play for Man United yet. But I want to take into account what I think nice quality for me. I'm going to put him in quality because loan and what we needed to get another midfielder in. Okay? We had to get another midfielder in. I generally think he gonna work out. But the thing is, though, I did hear like he's been, he was playing for Morocco or went to play in, I think it was the qualification for the AFCON, so international break with Morocco, but then he had to withdraw, go back due to potential back injury. Hopefully, hopefully it's not nothing serious and he'll be able to play. I hope so. But he will be alongside him and Onana, both of them will be gone like in January. There's gonna be like, a few weeks where they're gonna be gone due to AFCON. So of course that's hey, but then again, let's be honest. Let's keep the same energy. That could have been anybody else. I get that Afcon is okay. Might be a little bit unfortunate that it has to be in the middle of the season, but due to the climate, that's what needs to be. And you support your country. You represent your country, and you do well. Okay, you do well. It is what it is. But Amrabat, I had to put in quality. I don't know what you guys are saying. Amrabat is meh. You obviously have not seen him then. You could spend the money more wisely. Okay. With Varane, Martinez, and Pavard, Onana will be this fire goalkeeper. Yep. The thing is though, Pavard went to Masecati Inter, so that's let's not even. But yeah, like I said, okay. And then we have another loan. We have this. I ain't gonna lie, my team is this window. My gosh, Sergio Reguilon. It's a loan from Spurs. But it's just like I have to put in man. I'm not gonna put in worse because it's a loan. If it was a signing, I would have put in worse signing. 100%, I would have put in worse signing. But it's a loan, so I'm not gonna put it like we're not gonna be that shameless. Meh, it doesn't move me. We did need it. The thing is, though, we need to remember none of us anticipated that Luke Shaw was gonna get injured. Malacia has been injured. I believe he's coming back very soon, but Luke Shaw will be out for a couple of weeks, right? Over several weeks, I should say. So we had to get somebody. We had like 1 week to sort it out. Technically, it was supposed to be Kukurea, but then my board didn't get that done. So the second option was a search of Regulon, which, yeah, doesn't move me. But once again, it's a loan. It's a loan. Johnny Evan, best definitely. You are so taking a piss. Ratchet Amber, decent pickup. Okay. Next we have Rasmus Højlund. We're going off of potential here, okay? For Atlanta, I watched like one Atlanta game last season. It's not that much I have to go off of. And, of course, he came in at like 30 minutes against Arsenal. He looked actually very much of like a breath of fresh air for sure. I thought he looked very decent. So I want to put him in. I'm gonna put him in decent. I'm gonna put him in decent. Not meh, but decent. But we did really need a striker. Of course, he's been injured at the beginning. With the back injury. Hopefully, we keep slowly integrating him into the team. But I don't know. There's something interesting with him, so I'll put him in decent so far. We haven't seen enough. Um, Not says meh. This Danish guy. Okay. And then we had Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans, it's a free transfer. in 1 year, but it doesn't. Why are we going back? Why are we going back to our ex? And I actually don't. I don't have a problem with Johnny Evans, like per se, him as a player. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense at all. You know, it doesn't make sense at all. But I put him in meh. Next, we're moving into Newcastle. The more I think about it, should I maybe put Haaland in not enough data? Because it would kind of be the same with some of the other players. Hmm. Now we'll have been decent. Top clubs don't get exploit. Exactly. Only Man United can do it. Only Man United do that shit, man. Only Man United do dumb stuff like that. Legit. It's not even a joke. It's only we that do that. Nobody else. Either way, that we move on to Newcastle. We have Tonali, okay, from AC Milan. That one was very interesting. 64 million, okay, for Sandro Tonali. So far, I mean, I think at the beginning I was like, ooh, I think the opening game of the season, he looked really good, did he not? It was the game where they played against Aston Villa. I think they slapped them up, did they not? I'll put him in decent. The more, you know what? Hey, not enough data. Not enough data. We'll put him in not enough data, to be honest. But then again, no, because I have no. Put him in decent because I have him here. Decent. It's fine. Use the quality for Sandro Tonali. Could be quality. I'll put him in decent for now. Harvey Barnes, okay, from Leicester, 44 million. You know, I ain't gonna lie, when he came in the which game was it? Was it a Liverpool game where he came in at the end and didn't really do that much? It was like, eh. I need to put him in. Hmm. Wait, why were you acting Roger? Did I say something bad or what? Like, what happened? You say quality. Ooh. I mean, I did like him at Leicester though. I do think he's a good signing though, to be honest. I'll put him in decent. I'll put Parvin Barnes on decent for sure. Well, we'll just move this up here. And then we're moving on to I think Timo Livramento from Southampton, 37 million. Uh been injury prone. Um but the fullback is, he's been very good for Southampton for sure. Hmm. You know what? I kind of feel like I need to move Sandro Tonali up in quality. Should I? We move him up in quality because I think I have to distinguish. Sandro Tonali is moving up to quality. Harry Barnes is still gonna stay at decent. Probably should have had like maybe a middle stuff here, but it's fine. Timo Livramento. We haven't really seen that much of him so far this season for Newcastle, but I also need to go off of what I was thinking. The thing is, though, the price is it's a lot for somebody that's been very injury prone. Even though once he has been playing, he actually is pretty good. But I put him in decent. I put him in decent. And then we have, I think, who's this again? I think this is young Kuba Minte, who came from Feyenoord. Not enough data, by the way. He's from Gambia, by the way. And then we have Lewis Hall. It annoys me how Chelsea are able to put, basically to like, this is a loan, by the way, loan, but just, it's okay, but it doesn't do much. It's meh. Probably it's okay. It's okay. Now I'm going to move on to Spurs, okay? Spurs one, that one is quite interesting, okay? Tottenham. This one I know a lot of people do have like their, you know, thoughts about this, which is Brennan Johnson. Came at the end in the on deadline day. A lot of money, 55 million. Okay, I like Brennan Johnson. I actually thought he was pretty decent for Forest, but I don't know. definitely not worth that money though, if we're gonna be honest. So it has to kind of be a meh due to the money, but we haven't seen him play yet. So we'll see how it goes after the international break. But he's interesting. He's interesting. I think like it would have made more sense if it was like a Morgan Gibbs White. That then I will be like, okay, I get it. Big up to Jay Kismet. Hope you're doing well. Madison, best, best. We might even put him like here, actually, like literally, incredible signing. Like 46 million in total. Okay, smart signing. That's a signing that I would have when we were linked with Mount. People saying, yeah, but if you don't want Mount, who would you want instead? I was like, Madison. I want James Maddison. Simple. Okay. When people are saying like, oh, Mount is kind of very similar to Bruno, I'm like, no, I think it would make more sense to say Madison is that because you see, you get the stats, but also the guy plays hella good. Okay, and very very well by the way. Madison for me, quality. He showed up for Spurs. Okay, everybody else is also elevating and leveling up their performance as well. But he's just adding something else, man. And because first when he went to Spurs, I was like, I don't know, not because of him, but I was thinking, is Spurs going to be a good option for him? Is that going to be a good thing for him to do? Like I would have thought like maybe going to Newcastle would be better for him. But so far, like Ange Ball, he's cooking under Ange so far, very good. So yeah, I have to be honest. Then we have um oh, I just completely forgot. There's one player, Spurs player, I completely forgot to put in. That's actually Mickey Van de Ven. I knew it was somebody I forgot to put. Dang it. Okay, so we probably will be putting him in decent. So those of you who are wondering, where's Mickey Van de Ven? I forgot to put him in his picture, and I don't have the time to fix that now. But we'll just say we'll put him in decent so far. 40 million from Wolfsburg. And then we have, I believe, from FC Empolia, we have this Vicario, I think, the goalkeeper. Um, Now he was what? How much? 20 million in total. He now is the number one goalkeeper, as of course, um, Hugo Lloris is not there anymore. Where did Hugo Lloris go to? Now I don't think he's gone to any club yet. I know that Newcastle was interested in him, but he wasn't interested back. So, you know, he ain't got no club no more. Okay, the- he he was probably like, you know what, you guys made me hold 5 goals in 45 minutes a few months ago. I ain't coming to y'all. Maybe that's the case. I don't know, but with Vicario, it we'll just say Visario. Goalkeeper, 20 million so far. He made a very good save, I remember, when United played Spurs in the second game of the season. Um, One of very few shots that we did have, but a very good one. So for what I've seen of him, for the money, I like him. I like him. I'll put him in decent. We'll put him like up here. We'll put him here. And then we have, I think it's Velis from Rosario Central, 50 million. Not enough data. And then it's also there's one more as well. Oh, this guy, Phillips from Blackburn. Not enough data. Man, Solomon from Shakhtar Donetsk, free transfer. Looked okay, but it's not really doing much for me. So meh, meh. Lastly, we have West Ham. Okay, West Ham. They made some really good signing. I mean, they sold Declan Rice and they spent that money wisely, I tell you that much. So we have Mohamed Kudus. Technically, I've seen him. What was it? Was it the last few minutes of the last game? Um, Other than that, it's not really that much to go off of. But if we think about the fact that he came from Ajax for like 43 million, then I would say that that's a quality signing. Okay, it's an Alvarez from Ajax, 38 million. also quality signing. So far, he's looked very good. But the one that I really feel like I need to really shout out is James Ward-Prowse, who I need to put in best because from Southampton, 34 million, borderline almost 39, but a very good signing for West Ham for sure. He's impressed me. He's not just a set piece specialist. He's also just very good on the ball in general, and just adds something more of a different dynamic to that midfield. So it's a smart signing that they did, that they needed, and they spent that Rice money smart, well, clever. Okay, so we have to say that. And then last one, I believe, what's his name again? Mavropanos, who kind of looks like Mario Cardi, by the way. He really looks like him. From Stuttgart, 20 million. I haven't really seen him that much, or not enough data. Yeah. So, guys, that is Sophie's transfers ranking of the summer transfers. Okay. Do you agree with me before we slowly start to wrap up? Do you agree with some of my picks? Maybe see if we can zoom in a little bit like that. There we go. Let me know what you guys are thinking, okay? Marta says Mount will be good. I hope so, Rajat. I really hope he will be good. Rajat, I need him to be good. I need him to be good, okay? There, nah. I have, I hope so. I generally hope that he can be good. I do hope so. God, I hope so, man. I need him to be good, man. I do. We have to wait and see. But yeah, do let me know if you're watching this, by the way, on the replay. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below of some of the players that how you would be ranking the players. You don't need to mention all of them, but you can mention some of them. Where would you rank them? I'd love to hear your opinions. Before I go, I want to answer this question. Ravi asked earlier, do you see the average players that go for big money increasing their market value? Do you see the average players that go for big money increasing their market? Yeah, potentially. Potentially. I think so. To some extent, yeah. Guys, yeah, I will most likely be back tomorrow. Let me just maybe close this for a second. There we go. Here we go. So, I'll be most likely back tomorrow. I'm gonna probably film sometime tomorrow my updated Premier League prediction now that the window has closed and now that we are that we already have gone into the 4 games of the season. Have maybe my prediction potentially changed? Yeah, to some extent they have. So we'll definitely do an updated video on that probably tomorrow. I'm not completely sure. We'll see. And then we'll do some another live stream on Sunday, which is going to be like in relation to Norway versus Georgia, a match preview for that, and then some other streams next week. But yeah, hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then please make sure to give this video here a big thumbs up, and of course also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are once again on the road to 3K subscribers, so let's make that happen. Also, feel free to join the SFT membership. It's just another way to support the channel. The link is in the description box. Also reminding you, I was on Mina Football earlier today to talk about the Sancho situation, Amrabat injury. We had a blast. It was my first time there, so make sure you check that out. It is on the community tab, which I've linked the channel. So yeah, but have a lovely time wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace out. Sophie out. Bye bye.
Are you all right? Yes. No, you are all left.